Hello. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I am Dr. Katrina Kreider. I'm chiropractor here at A Touch of Health. And today we're going to talk about self-love. I feel like we don't generally show ourselves a lot of love. And my mom, growing up, did not really do much for herself. My mom was very self-sacrificing, and she took care of everyone in the family except herself. And so that was the behavior that was modeled to me. And sometimes when we have that behavior modeled to us, we tend to repeat it if we are not aware of those patterns. And I definitely have been aware of some of the patterns where I often find myself self-sacrificing for others. And the more I do it, the longer I do it, the more resentful I get, and the more it just doesn't feel good. So I just wanted to talk about ways that we can show ourselves love. And they don't have to be like these big dramatic gestures. They can be these small little practices of how you care for yourself. Because I think that caring for ourselves shows our children that we are also important, right? That it's good to take care of yourself. So, I was talking to a friend of mine a couple weeks ago. She's another chiropractor in Pennsylvania who we have been friends for probably 20 years, and she's really struggling. You know, I think we're all struggling in motherhood. Her and I are both small business owners, so we relate so much to what each other goes through. And I asked her what one thing she could do to take care of herself, like that would be a win for her for that week. And she said if she could just take her supplements. And I just love that, because I think so often we're, making sure our kids are eating right and that they're taking all the things that we need. But when's the last time that we checked in with ourselves and make sure that we were taking our supplements? Or that we were making better diet choices, like eating more vegetables, right? We're worried that our kids aren't getting enough veggies, but, meanwhile, we're eating pizza or whatever it is. These are just small acts of self-love that you can give yourself that can really make a huge difference. So, taking supplements, what a beautiful act of self-love. A couple other things that I love to do. I don't necessarily do these on a regular. Actually, the one thing that I do on a regular this year is a gratitude journal. And I think that the more we are grateful for those beautiful and lovely things in our lives, the more comes back to us. So this year I have been very consistent with a gratitude journal, and I got the cutest little one on Amazon. And I write 3 things that I am grateful for every day. And that's just been like a very great practice to bring me back when I'm struggling and when life is hard. It brings me back to what is important. Journaling is another great practice. I actually used to do this a whole lot before I had kids because I had more consistent time. I journal now, but it's like more sporadic. I wish it was consistent, but it's just not. And my life is just not set up that way. So I can do my gratitude journal with 3 great things that I'm, grateful for. Journaling tends to be a little more sporadic for me, but I love when I'm able to do it. That's like such a beautiful act of me kind of getting all that stuff out of my head and onto the paper. Moving your body. This is another practice for me that is, I don't necessarily exercise, but, creating some body movement is a beautiful act of self-love that you can do for yourself. going to bed early, right? Getting that rest that we need. I'm kind of constantly in a battle between going to bed early and staying up late to get that quiet time. So that's actually next on my list, is staying up late to get that half hour or hour of quiet time that you need to do, like watch a show or journal or read a book or have a nice glass of wine. Whatever it is that you feel like you need to decompress, to unwind. It's so important that we unwind that stress and tension, because otherwise it keeps winding us up. We keep shoving it down, and eventually we blow, right? Eventually it all comes out. You can only hold on to stuff for so long. Asking for help. This is such an act of self-love, because growing up, my mom was very, I'll just do it myself. I'll just do it, right? And so she did so much, but that was so not healthy for her. So asking for love or support in any way that you need, asking a friend to help you, asking your husband to help you. How can you ask somebody else to help you? Because we don't have to self-sacrifice. We don't have to do everything by ourselves. That's not sustainable, and it's not healthy for us. So asking for help. How can you ask for help? Getting outside and getting some vitamin D is just fantastic for our mental state. I know it's been raining here in Atlanta, but the days that it doesn't rain, it's like I just want to be outside all day, because I am trying to soak up all of that vitamin D. Taking a fiver sometimes when I'm with my kids and they are just driving me bananas, I will tell them, Mommy's taking a fiver. And Avery's like, what is that? And to me, it's just like, it's 5 minutes to step away. So maybe I just sit them in front of a cartoon and I go outside, and I'll get into one of the other things that I'm suggesting is breathing. Like, I'll just go outside and I will take a couple deep breaths. We breathe that short and shallow breath all day. And it's so important to fill the capacity of our lungs, to really take a nice deep inhale and an exhale. I like to try to match my inhale to my exhale. So I'll breathe in for 4 and out for 4. And I'll do that for a couple rounds. And it's amazing what it does to like my mental space. And it just really creates a little more space, and it allows me to go on, to continue parenting. Another act of self-love, I talked about this, but is like eating vegetables, eating healthy foods, fueling your body with that which it needs. Asking your body, what does it need? What do I need, body? What do you need? Do you need to move more? Do you need quiet time? Like, all these things are so important to help us unwind. We get so tense and so bound up with stress that practices like this are so important. Drinking more water. Drinking more water is an act of self-love. I find so often that many of my clients and patients are dehydrated. They don't drink enough water. Water is so necessary to help with your hydration is so important, because we're made of mostly water. It helps move toxins out of the body. It helps create better lymph flow. It just helps our mental clarity. It helps us feel better. So the best way to know how much water you need, because our bodies are very individual, is I like to let people know that you need to drink half your weight in ounces in water a day. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you need to drink 50 ounces of water. I like to track it. I have a big Yeti. It's about 30 ounces, and I have a goal of drinking about 3 of those a day. That's a great way to determine, are you drinking more water? Many times when we think we're hungry, we're actually thirsty. So try some water. Give yourself some water. Give your body some water. Give it what it needs. The last two things I'm going to mention, acts of self-love, are planning dates with our significant other. It's very important that we take time to fill ourselves up in that way, to reconnect with that person. A lot of us are, we're all parents, so it's really important to connect with that person and to remember why you like them, why you love them, the things you love to do with them. And the last act of self-love is one, I actually think us women are really good at this, but planning time with friends. And when is the last time that you had a coffee with a girlfriend, or lunch, or wine, or whatever? If you can't remember, it's time to plan something. Play dates are even fabulous, right? The kids can play and the moms can hang. When is the last time that you actually spent some quality time with your friends? Because these things are what's going to fill you up. These things are going to show yourself some love. They're going to show your kids how to love themselves and set such a good example. I am going to link my gratitude journal in the comments, and if I have any ways that I've forgot about for acts of self-love, please share in the comments ways that you show yourself some love. So I hope you all have a wonderful Wednesday. Thank you so much for watching.